Hey everyone. So, there are different stages in our life, and we can never prioritize everything at the same time, right? One of the things that I always have believed and have lived by is that there's sort of like you can do many things in this life, in this modern world in particular, but you really can't do them all at the same time. So, some people get the idea of, you can have it all. Well, you can have it all is a really bad idea if you're trying to do it at the same time. So, when I was raising my kids, I knew that, one day I might have a career, or one day I might focus on my body and get really healthy, or one day I might travel, or whatever it was. But my kids are my priority. And so I was very comfortable putting off for later some of the things that I want to do in this life. And right now, the other thing too is, we have to, how do I put this? Sometimes the moment just comes, and it's not, I've never been one who believed that you should sit down and figure out what you're going to do for the next 10 or 15 years, plan it all out, stay focused, and be that much attempting to be in control. For example, if someone offered me the chance to have a genie, magic genie, and that I could go back in time, start my life over, and I could decide what I wanted to do with my life, and that the genie would make it happen. What career did I want to have? What type of relationship I wanted to have as my primary partnership, just anything it could be, and not even limited. Like, literally, you can decide what you want your life to be. I've known for most of my life that I would never take that. I absolutely would not. Now, I can say this not as someone who was born into privilege, but someone who was born into material and economic lack. But still went forth, and because not everything was handed to me on a silver platter, and like at the age of 10, I was out knocking on doors looking for jobs, right? Okay. So because of that, I've had this life that I love and adore, where you need to work for something, and there's such a wonderful sense that we get from that sense of accomplishment at the end of a day's hard work. There's some saying out there. Anyways, so that was the ethos I grew up with. That was the times that I grew up in. Compared to now, where a lot of people seem to think that the goal is to be able to live your life without having to work, and that's the goal. That's the utopia that people are aiming for. Anyways, so I always knew I would never ask a genie. I would never be willing to limit myself to what I might in one moment decide I wanted to do in my life. Because throughout our lives, unexpected things and unexpected people come into our lives, and they introduce thoughts and ideas we've never had before, and suddenly we're going in a different direction, or pursuing a different goal that we wouldn't have known about at that moment, when we had like this magical power to give ourselves whatever we wanted. What if 8 years later you don't want what you asked the genie for, but now you can't escape it because you chose it, but now you don't want it anymore, right? So what goes along with that is this idea that sometimes it's just the right time and you didn't choose it. Like, right now I'm feeling really motivated to really get on top of my health. And I've done this throughout my life, and I'm going to talk about that more later. But right now, on top of all the other things going on in my life, this is something that I'm just interested in. I'm going to do it. And so I was looking around for some books on some different topics, and I stumbled across, I think his name is Jason Fung, and the book is The Hunger. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. I just looked it up before I started this video. It's like The Hunger book, The Hunger something, Jason Fung. I've been listening to this. It's excellent. It's motivational without being a motivational book. Yes, motivational books are obnoxious. And it's informative, and it's like one last nail in the good coffin, okay? Because I've read a bunch of books. I've done a bunch of things. I already know how to like live healthy and eat healthy and be healthy. But knowing it and doing it are two different things. So, yeah, I'm going to start sharing with you my journey. And this book talks about a lot of things. And I'm going to mention the one that today earlier hit me, and I thought that's something I want to do. Like, I can't do it immediately, because when I start eating healthy, I don't typically throw food away, because I don't believe in wasting food. So there's certain foods here that I would not purchase going forward, but I'm going to find a way to eat them, or I'll give them to someone who might want them, or donate them to the food bank. Because my food, even the food I may not want to eat, is not going to be super bad food. It's just one of the things he's talking about here is all of the ultra processed foods, which I don't eat a lot of, but there's these ingredients, right? All these ingredients to get put into things. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's this whole interesting world to understand what the food industry is doing, which, by the way, I didn't know this, but apparently the tobacco companies were the ones that bought up the food corporations when they realized they weren't going to be able to continue to make a literal economic killing on selling their tobacco products. And they decided, well, what other addictive food or addictive substance can we get into? And they decided to go for food, because food is literally addicting, and it can be an extremely strong bad habit that better not be a deer getting into my garden. Oh, it's my cat. Kitty, what'd you catch? Oh, you're a little murderer. You caught something. I think she caught a vole. My garden is down a vole. Anyways, so I grew up. This is my last thing I'm going to say. It's like the starting of this. So I'm 172.5 pounds right now. At my best weight, really my best weight right now would probably, like, very healthy, good, lean. I don't mean weird athlete extreme, but I mean like a excellent, really good, solid, normal human weight would, honestly, my best would be 135. And that's where I'm going. But it's not about that. It's about what does 135 represent? It represents that my insulin, I don't have diabetes symptoms, have actually been tested, but you have insulin resistance, right? So my insulin resistance and the hormones in my body that are being messed up by inappropriate food choices, though that then cause my body to, my blood gets flooded with glucose and it gets turned into fat, all that. So that's going to go away. My body always responds well when I take care of it. It's like, hi, all I'm doing is trying to behave properly. Good job bringing good stuff in. And I just start to feel better. And I've got a program, a weight building program, and whatnot. So I'm aiming for 135, and I'll probably drop about 1.5 pounds a week, potentially 2 pounds a week. And that's not extreme. I eat plenty of food. It's just you go from the stuff that inflames you to the stuff that cleans you and fuels you appropriately. So, we're looking at about 8 pounds a month, and I want to drop about 40 pounds. So in about 5 months, I'll be there. And I just want to share the journey with you. So right now I'm going to recommend this book. And all of my videos will be under 10 minutes. So I got about 45 seconds left. And I will add information down in the writing section of this Substack. And each video is going to just be covering different things as I go through this journey. And if you have known that you've wanted to do this as well, and you've been waiting for the right moment, maybe you'll be like, hey, she's doing it this year, I'll do it too. And maybe we'll do it together. Okay, doke. Talk to you soon.